There are many alternative therapies out there for healing and health betterment, and it's really hard to choose if we don't know how to measure it. And a lot of scientific reports don't even know how to measure supernatural awareness, which is actually the basis of a lot of these therapies, because usually the teachers are sort of honing in, trying to capture, if you will, a supernatural power out there, which they call the life force, vital energy, ki, that's Ki in Japanese, Chi in Chinese. In Hinduism, it's called pranayama, through breathing in the breath, that you can somehow waken psychic energies. Well, the problem with this type of spirituality rooted in wellness is that from an Eastern point of view, both the body and spirit are joined in becoming well. So while there is an authentic case of going to a doctor for your physical well-being, and perhaps in traditional medicines, when you start going to an area where the doctor or the shaman or the priest or the trainer or the caregiver is looking after your spirituality and your physical well-being, there's a conflict of interest, because that is not a biblical position. We're told in the Bible that body, mind, and spirit are separated. Although all three are in the one person, each has to be treated in a different way. And the spiritual, the soul, is treated in a completely different way to the physical. So when a faith healer in Reiki, for instance, lays their hand on or lays their hand over somebody that wants Reiki healing, which is Japanese healing medicine, their palms, they will be transferring spiritual energy through their palms to the patient. Now, what we need to check in that is from a biblical perspective. If one checks from the Bible, that we're told not to be contaminated with supernatural powers that are there for our bidding, because the Bible describes them as fallen angels. There are two types of angels. There are fallen angels and there are God's ministering angels. But the ministering angels only do God's bidding. The fallen angels can very easily be used by a Eastern mystic, by a shaman, by somebody involved in Eastern spirituality for healing, come in through the conduit and then come into the person for healing. And there is much concern. I mean, there are all sorts of ramifications for opening ourselves up to the supernatural and not being able to check it. And of course, if we check it with those that are pro this type of invasion, then they will say that they have euphoric feelings, wonderful experiences. Yes, it does bring healing. But if we go from a biblical point of view, asking the God of the universe who has created us, should I allow this type of supernatural invasion into my body? The Bible clearly says no.